Are these the pictures of Songkran that you are familiar with? In your opinion, is Songkran Day an occasion on which Thais countrywide take part in happily and joyfully splashing water at one another? Water splashing is only part of Songkran festival. In addition to it, Songkran festival marks a graceful tradition, a meaningful custom, and a respectable practice. These three combined constitute this national festival called the traditional Thai New Year. On every 13th of April, everywhere you look, you will see Thai people, young and old, male and female, happily splashing water at one another. Yet, in former times, the ancient Thai Songkran Day did not always fall onto the 13th of April. In some years, it coincided with the 12th, and in others, it could take place as late as the 14th of April. This was because ancient Thais designated the beginning of the year by observing the sun's movement from Pisces to Aries. This day was known as Maha Songkran Day, which literally means the Great New Year's Day. Although Songkran Festival has been a significant part of Thai history for nearly 1,000 years, it was not originally a Thai custom. In fact, this festival has its roots in India's religion called Hinduism, and it was the Brahmins who during the early period of the Buddhist era introduced it, along with other ancient Indian folkloric beliefs and rituals, to royal courts in the Indo-Chinese peninsula. Thailand was not the only country that adopted this Indian custom. Various peoples in Southeast Asian countries, namely Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia, and in the Xishuangbanna province of China, also adopted Songkran as their New Year's Day. It was during the Buddhist era, year 1280-657, that Songkran tradition entered Thailand. Beginning in the south, the tradition spread to the central plains before being adopted by the northern locals through the royal court of Haripunchai Kingdom in present-day Lamphun. After King Mangrai of Yonok Kingdom had conquered and occupied Haripunchai, he established Lanna Kingdom, with Chiang Mai being the capital, and embraced Songkran tradition as the royal practice in BE 1800, AD 1257. Nevertheless, it was not until several centuries later, around BE 2400 AD 1857, that Songkran tradition became a common event amongst ordinary people, who integrated the Brahmin Hindu water splashing practice with their original custom of paying respect to elderly relatives and to their ancestors' spirits, which were already commonly practiced in the month of April. Local Lanna Thai people refer to their Songkran tradition as Ba Weni Pi Mai, New Year tradition, or Pi Mai Muang, traditional New Year. Their celebration lasts 3 to 5 days, on each of which a different custom is celebrated. The first day of celebration usually falls onto April 13th, known as Songkran Long Day. This day marks the end of the bygone year. According to ancient Lanna belief, this is the day on which all evil, vicious, or malicious thoughts, deeds, and things must be expelled from one's life. To do this, people usually fire gunshots or light firecrackers during the small hours of the morning. After which, they will help one another in their families to clean and tidy their homes. On the same day, processions of principal Buddha images will take place in major cities. Along their main streets for local people to worship and sprinkle water on as part of their New Year's merit-making. April 14th, the second day of the celebration, is called Now Day by Northern Thais. This day falls between the bygone year and the new year. Based on long inherited belief, on this day, people are supposed to behave themselves strictly according to Buddhist precepts. To begin the new year by practicing good deeds, saying good things, quarreling with nobody, refraining from gossiping, avoiding all forms of evil, and being merry. An evil deed, speech, or thought on the first day of the year is believed to bring misfortune during the rest of the year. In addition to being charitable, another integral part of Songkran tradition concerns upholding of Buddhism. Local Northern Thais go to their temples on this day with Y-shaped wooden sticks, which they use to support branches of a bo tree in preparation for the next day's life prolongation ceremony. The practice of supporting a bo tree's branches with wooden sticks is an ancient Lanna tradition that has been celebrated for over 200 years. This reflects the belief that supporting a bo tree symbolizes the people's united effort to uphold Buddhism. In former times, this activity was performed individually, not corporatively, and not in the form of a parade like at present. An obvious change took place only about 20 years ago when some local people assembled at a certain point before carrying their sticks to the temples. Where contests for the most beautiful decorated bow-supporting sticks also took place. This year, the Songkran celebration at Toon Village also holds a bow-supporting stick contest. Mr. Lek Fusi is paying close attention to the making of his stick to make sure it is more elaborately decorated than the one he had made the previous year.
เมื่อก่อนเนี่ยมาแต่งคือว่าไม้มันจะปอกคือมันขาวคนเขาเนี่ยมันผิวขาวมันก็งามว่าจิตใจคนเขาก็งามอย่างไม้เนี่ยไม้เดียวใบตาลมันขาวอย่างนี้ปรากฏประเภทสวยงามนี่จะมีการแต่งเก้านะแต่งเก้าเป็นลวดเป็นลายมีหมอนใส่งามมันมีหมอนแปลงหมอนใส่นะหมอนสีขาวใส่งามบางคนก็ใส่พวงมาลัยพ่องมีสวยมัด
In the past, bow-supporting sticks were mostly made from white cheesewood, also known amongst Thais as the duck feet tree, because white cheesewood, a soft-textured tree has white flesh. Ancient people associated it with the consecrated or purified heart of a merit maker who used it to support a bow tree. Another reason for using white cheesewood is its branches are arranged in a series of Y-shaped prongs, a feature which conforms to ancient people's belief that these tiered pairs of prongs symbolize support, nurture, and protection of lives.
อย่างว่าเนี่ยไม่ติดเป็ดเนี่ยมันขาวเนี่ยมันขาวนะแต่ไม่ได้ปอกก็พอเดียวทำให้คนเขาเนี่ยนิยมใจเดียวว่าสีขาวๆมันบริสุทธิ์ดีแต่ไม่อื่นปอเลอะเป็นบ่ใจไม่อื่นก็ไม่เป็นงามเหมือนกันแต่ไม่งามเหมือนกันงามเหมือนกันนะแต่ว่าเป็นไปกั้มไม่งามไม่ติดเป็ดนี่ไม่งามนี่มันจะเป็นไม่อื่นนะมันจะมีปกติมันจะมีอยู่สีงามก็คือว่าใครนิ้วมือคนเขานี่นี่ดิตุ้มไว้นะตุ้มก็ไม่ตุ้มอย่างนี้ที่ว่ากั้มประเพณีมันถึงใจยึดว่ากั้มก็ไม่ก็ตอกั้มดวงกั้มชะตาคนเขาเนี่ยแต่บนตัวนี้วัดบนตัวนี้ไปจะใจว่าอนุรักษ์ของประเพณีมาเก่าเพราะว่าเปิ้นนั่นมันเป็นดีบ้านเมืองแล้วที่เจริญแล้วเนี่ยบางทีเปิ้นบ่ใจละเปิ้นไปใจไม่ลงเลยเป็นเหลี่ยมนะก็กั้มก็ได้กันนะแล้วไม่เหลี่ยมนี่มันใช้ประโยชน์ได้เอามาแปลงบ้านไปยังก็ได้นะมันใช้ประโยชน์ได้แต่อันนี้มันไปยังบ่ได้ละใช้ได้แต่อย่างเดียวว่ากั้มสี
Now their bow-supporting sticks are on their way to the temple. It is after the next day's religious ceremonies that they can support the temple's bow trees with their sticks.
เอาไปค้ำนี่มันจะต้องเอาไปวางวิหารก่อนเนาะเอาไปยกไปอิงวิหารตานพระเจ้าจากพระเจ้าแล้วก็เป็นปันป้อนอย่างเรียบร้อยตานว่าก็ยกไปอิงต้นสีต้นโพ
Although the bow-supporting ceremony is now finished, there is another tradition for these locals to practice at the temple. Tradition of carrying sand back onto the temple is based on ancient people's observation that every time people left the temple after having made merit, some grains of sand that stuck to their feet or shoes were taken out of the temple. Although they did not do it on purpose, it was considered a sin, equal to taking the temple's property without permission. Therefore, Songkran, or New Year's Day, is considered an important opportunity for people to bring sand back into the temple as an act of apology and repentance for having taken sand out of the temple. The sand brought to the temple is usually piled up in the form of a pagoda with a wide, flat base and a marrow-shaped top. This sand pagoda is then decorated with thin paper banners called tung in northern Thai. Tungs vary in shapes, sizes, and purposes. For Songkran tradition or Thai New Year, people use a set of banners representing the 12 zodiacal signs. These banners are known amongst native Lanna people as the Lanna New Year's banners. These Lanna New Year's banners are used as part of the offering of a sand pagoda. On Payawan Day, usually April 15th, people will stick these banners on the sand pagoda as an act of life prolongation, a sign of an auspicious beginning, and a dedication to their ancestors and deceased relatives. Other kinds of banners, such as bunch-shaped banners, sand pagoda banners, and triangular banners, are used both for decoration and in life prolongation and misfortune reversal rituals. The day for carrying sand into the temple may not always be April 14th. In some provinces, such as Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and Lamphun. This activity is performed on Nao Day, following ancient tradition. In some, however, this activity takes place on April 15th, which is known as Payawan Day. In others, this activity is done as early as April 13th, called Songkran Long Day, the first day of Songkran tradition. Despite these differences, the offering of a sand pagoda to the temple always takes place on April 15th. Similarly, the beginning time for water splashing does vary from area to area. In general, Thai people both in the north and other areas start splashing water on April 13th, the first of the 3 official holidays. After this, how long water splashing continues depends on each local area's customary practice. In most places, it starts on April 13th and continues until the last day of celebration. The third day of Songkran tradition is April 15th, called Payawan Day by Lanna people. This day marks the beginning of the new year. According to Lanna belief, Payawan Day is the holiest and most important day of the year. For this reason, people engage themselves in religious ceremonies to ensure an auspicious beginning and to make merit in dedication to their ancestors. Early in the morning, they visit the temple with offerings of food for the monks. Such offerings, called Than Khan Khao in Lanna Thai, are made in dedication to ancestors and deceased relatives. After the ceremony in the chapel, these Buddhists will stick the banners they have carried along onto the sand pagoda made the previous day. This act of offering banners, called Tan Tung, as well as sand, to the temple is believed to be a most auspicious form of merit-making, which may even contribute to saving hell-deserving sinners' souls from spending eternity in hell. After the religious rituals and life prolongation ceremony in the chapel, it is time for these people to put up their sticks, prepared the previous day, to support the temple's bo trees, an act that symbolizes their preservation of Buddhism. This day is not only for Buddhist merit-making, but also an opportunity for each temple to bring its principal Buddha image outside the chapel for people to sprinkle water on and worship, an auspicious act on the first day of the new year. After Buddha image sprinkling, some temples may also hold a ceremony of sprinkling water on monks. The purposes of this ceremony are for people to show respect to monks and apologize to them for whatever religious offenses committed. The same afternoon is the time for Northern Thais to gather at their elderly relatives or at respected figures' places to sprinkle water on them as a sign of respect. The term to sprinkle water does not literally mean to pour water on elderly people. Instead, it refers to a person's expression of respect and apology to their elderly relatives. Normally, this involves a visit to an elderly relative's home with an offering of flowers, incense sticks, candles, turmeric soaped solution or traditional Thai perfume, and other articles such as fruit and clothes, in return for his or her blessings. Whilst giving his or her blessings, the elderly relative may also hand some auspicious items to the offerer, such as consecrated cotton threads to be tied round the wrists or consecrated water. The act of paying respect to elderly relatives is regarded by Lanna people as an expression of gratitude, as these elderly people raised them up, trained them, groomed them, and helped them on countless occasions. Paying back a debt of gratitude they owe these elderly people is therefore an auspicious act. Despite some changes modern society has brought to their tradition, native Northern Thais remain strong in their faith and belief, with an unwavering sense of gratitude. If their children and grandchildren continue to preserve this prestigious Lanna tradition, Songkran will maintain its glorious significance as traditional Northern Thai New Year celebration forever.